They removed his name from the company overnight. No meeting, no warning, no explanation. One morning, Daniel Mercer logged into the company portal he helped build from scratch, and his access was gone. His name had been scrubbed from the website. His founder title had disappeared from the LinkedIn page. And in the official company bio that investors would read, there was only one name left: Marcus Webb. The co-founder, the charming one, the one who gave the speeches, took the press photos, and shook hands with VCs while Daniel stayed in the back room writing the code that made all of it work. This is the story of what happened next. It started in a garage in Austin, Texas. The year was 2017. Daniel was 28 years old, a back-end engineer with a gift for building systems that scaled. He had an idea, a B2B software platform that would automate compliance reporting for mid-size healthcare companies. Boring, unsexy, and desperately needed by an industry drowning in paperwork. He built the first version in 4 months, alone, nights and weekends. He called it ClearPath. Then he met Marcus. Marcus Webb was everything Daniel wasn't. Polished, loud, connected. He'd done a TEDx talk. He knew angel investors. He knew how to walk into a room and make people feel like they were already part of something big. Daniel saw the gap in himself and offered Marcus 40% equity to run sales and fundraising. Seemed like the perfect split. Builder and seller, introvert and extrovert, architect and face. What Daniel didn't see was that Marcus was already building a very different kind of architecture. Within 18 months, ClearPath had its first institutional investor, $2.3 million in series of funding, 12 enterprise clients, a team of 14. And Marcus was the star. He was on podcasts, he was at conferences, he was quoted in Forbes. Every interview, every investor update, every press release, Marcus was the one talking. And Daniel was the one making sure the product didn't break. It was fine. Daniel told himself it was fine. He wasn't interested in fame. He was interested in building something real. But something was shifting. Slowly, quietly. Marcus started bringing his own people in. His college roommate became COO. His former colleague became head of sales. One by one, the inner circle changed. And one by one, the decisions that used to involve Daniel started happening without him. He noticed. He said nothing. He trusted the partnership. That was his second mistake. In March 2021, Daniel was called into a meeting with the board. He expected a strategy session, a funding update, maybe a disagreement about the product roadmap, something they'd navigated before. Instead, he was handed a document. It was a restructuring agreement, effective immediately. His role as co-founder and CTO was being transitioned. He was being offered a consultant position. 6 months reduced compensation, no equity upside. The board had voted. Marcus had recommended the change. The language was clean and corporate and devastating. Daniel asked how long this had been in the works. No one in the room would meet his eyes. He signed nothing. He walked out, and in the parking lot, sitting in his car for 45 minutes, something happened that he would later describe as the clearest moment of his life. He wasn't angry. He was calculating. Here's what Marcus and the board didn't know. They knew ClearPath's product. They knew its clients. They knew its brand. But they did not fully understand one critical thing. The intellectual property at the core of the platform had never been formally transferred to the company. Daniel had built ClearPath's compliance engine, a proprietary algorithm he called the Meridian Engine, before the company was incorporated, before Marcus joined, before the first dollar of investment. That code had been licensed to ClearPath, not assigned to it, and the licensing agreement, written in the early chaotic days of the startup, never updated, never reviewed by the board's attorneys, gave Daniel the right to revoke the license with 90 days' notice. He had kept quiet about this for years, not as a trap, not as leverage, simply because he'd never imagined he would need it. Now he needed it. He called his attorney that same night. The 90-day notice went out on a Monday morning. ClearPath's legal team responded within hours, angry, threatening, demanding Daniel honor what they called the spirit of the partnership. Their attorneys argued the license was implicit, permanent, the product of years of collaboration. Daniel's attorney had 3 words for them: read the contract. What followed was not a courtroom drama. It was something quieter and more devastating. Over the next 90 days, Daniel did something that Marcus never saw coming. He called the clients. Not to steal them, not to pitch them. He called them to explain, professionally, clearly, without drama, that the core technology powering their compliance platform was undergoing a licensing change, and that he wanted them to understand their options. He didn't have to say much more than that. Enterprise clients in healthcare compliance don't tolerate uncertainty. They have their own boards, their own attorneys, their own risk departments. The moment there was a question about the stability of the technology they depended on, they started asking questions, and the answers they got from ClearPath were not reassuring. By the time the 90 days expired, 7 of ClearPath's 12 enterprise clients had either paused their contracts or initiated transition conversations. The Series B funding round Marcus had been closing, a $9 million raise, fell apart in the final week. The lead investor sent a 1-paragraph email: too much legal uncertainty, moving on. ClearPath's valuation, which had reached $24 million on paper, collapsed. Marcus called Daniel. Once, Daniel let it go to voicemail. The message was 17 seconds long. It said, "We need to talk. This is insane. Call me back." Daniel never did. In January 2022, Daniel launched Meridian Compliance, built on the same engine with a new interface, a new brand, and a very clear origin story that he was no longer shy about telling. He reached out personally to every client who had left ClearPath. He offered transparent contracts, direct founder access, and a simple promise: the person who built the technology you depend on is the person you're now working with directly. Within 8 months, Meridian Compliance had 9 enterprise clients. 6 of them were former ClearPath accounts. He raised $4 million in seed funding, not from a pitch deck or a conference, but from 3 investors who had watched what happened and decided they wanted to back the person who had built the thing, not the person who had presented it. ClearPath filed for restructuring in the fall of 2022. Marcus Webb's LinkedIn profile now lists him as a strategic advisor to 3 startups, a title that, in the startup world, usually means the same thing. It means he's starting over. There's a lesson here that has nothing to do with revenge. Daniel Mercer didn't set out to destroy ClearPath. He didn't spend years plotting. He didn't leak information or poison relationships or act with malice. He simply understood something that Marcus never did. In any partnership, the person who builds the thing holds the real power, not the person who sells it. Charisma fades, relationships shift, funding dries up. But the thing itself, the actual product, the technology, the system that solves a real problem, that is permanent. Marcus had the stage. Daniel had the foundation. And when Marcus tried to remove the builder from the building, he forgot one thing. You can erase a name from a website in 10 seconds. You cannot erase the person who knows how every single piece of it works.